Shalom and welcome to Teqoa, a beautiful town on the edge of the Judean Desert with a gorgeous view down to the Dead Sea, the mountains of Moab on the other side in Jordan. And Teqoa is also famous for being the hometown of Amos Hanabi. In this video I'm going to try to explore a little bit the origins of Teqoa and see how it's perhaps related to a unique law we have in Perashat Mishpatim. The law that I'm referring to is that of the Mifateh, the seducer. The Torah teaches us that if a man will seduce a girl who is not married, not engaged, they're not married to each other, and he cohabits with her, he must get married to her. The next pasuk will explain, if her father refuses, or as the Gemara adds, if the girl herself refuses, then of course they will not get married. Instead, the man must pay a fine to the girl and to her father. Now the question I want to ask is, do we have a story somewhere in the Tanakh where this scenario played out and the law was actually applied? So according to Rabbi Yosef, the answer is yes. Now Rabbi Yosef was an Amora mentioned many places in Gemara, but he also wrote an Aramaic translation, a Targum, for Dveri Hayamim. The story is told about Hezron, how he came to the daughter of Machir, meaning they cohabited, and Machir was the son of Menashe. And then after it says, V'hu lekaha, and he married her. V'hu ben shishim shana v'teled lo et Segub. He was 6 years old, she bore him a son named Segub. So now the order here is reversed. First it says he came to her, and then after it says he married her. Now Rabbi Yosef is sensitive to this and he doesn't let it slide. In his translation he makes it clear that yes, that was the order, because it was a case of the Mifateh, the seducer. And we see later on, they also have a second son together, and his name was Ashur, who was the founder of Teqoa. Ashur Abi Teqoa, it says. Down there behind me you can see the settlement of Teqoa. Driving here and thinking about the name Teqoa and what it means, the idea that came to mind is that the word Teqoa is like takua, which means stuck or planted. For example, we have Yaakov Teqa taholo. Yaakov planted his tent. You just stick the pegs into the ground to pitch your tent. And Yaakov is a shepherd. And on the way here you see at the edge of the desert in general, there's a lot of shepherds. It's a great place to raise flocks of sheep. And perhaps Ashur also, he lived here, was a shepherd. And Teqoa is a place where he stuck his tent and eventually became a big city. But another idea, and this is my own idea, not Rabbi Yosef or anyone else, is that maybe Ashur had a sense of humor. Because we know the law is that the man, he's sort of stuck, that he has to marry the woman he seduced. And perhaps Ashur, he was aware of the story of his father and his mother, and he was able to sort of laugh about it. And he was known as Abi Teqoa. He built the city of Teqoa, but also his father, Abi, was Teqoa, was stuck. And because of that, he was born Ashur. That's his own origins, and perhaps he was the first Jewish comedian. The idea behind this law, I think, is the concept of responsibility. Right? The man has to take responsibility for his actions, and that's why he must marry her. And that's something that I think is prominent in the book of Amos. He's very strong in this concept of taking responsibility for actions, taking responsibility for all members of society that we have wronged. And it's an important lesson really for us today that we're all responsible for each other. And his responsibility, he says, I'm not a prophet or the son of a prophet, but God took me from behind the sheep and gave me this calling, and he takes responsibility for all of Bnei Israel and takes a big role in setting them on the straight path. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day.